presentation since the impeachment court acquired the jurisdiction on the matter.
We are not opposing. We are seeking clarification. And perhaps if the impeachment court will issue an order that the presentation of the article is impliedly complied with, we may accede to that. We are just following the Senate rules on impeachment. And the presentation of the articles is one of the significant part of their own rules on impeachment.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Big. From Philippine Daily Inquirer, Krisha Subing-Subing is now acknowledged.
Hello po. Medyo related din po sa question ni Ate Vivian kanina. So, kailan at paano po magsisik ng clarification sa Senate if Congress adjourns today po? I mean, the past few months has shown us that the Senate refuses to convene into an impeachment court kapag walang session po. So, I guess, is it possible na yung 20th Congress Senate na po yung makapagbigay ng clarification sa House po on their motion kagabi?
Can we address the question to the good-looking prosecutor, Rog Gutierrez?
Sorry, just to be clear, can we have a repeat of the question? Just to be very clear.
Kailan and paano po magsisik ng clarification yung House prosecution regarding the move by the Senate yesterday? Kasi as the past few months have shown us, hindi po ayaw mag-convene ng Senate as an impeachment court kapag walang session. And so we can expect that until June 30. So is it possible na sa 20th Congress Senate pa po magkaroon ng clarification sa mga tinatanong ng House?
To be frank lang po, I don't think it would be a fair statement to say we cannot preempt the impeachment court. We cannot substitute their decision. We cannot say for sure that they will not convene po, no? So what is very clear for us here in the prosecution panel is that we will be seeking clarification, and it will be addressed not to the Senate but to the impeachment court. Now, the question of whether or not they will convene, I think that only they can answer po, no?
And ma'am, tama po ba yung pagkakaintindi ko? You will file, you are preparing a motion to be read at the plenary later po?
Motion seeking for clarification.
And then my second question po, it seems that you and other legal experts agree po na the Senate does not have constitutional power to remand po. So, in your opinion, does the House have the power to reject the remand? Is that a possible pathway for you?
Rog, would you like to continue? Marami kang fans dito.
Of course, I don't know if we can speak for everyone po, no? But from our understanding and as per we have discussed earlier, I think it's very clear. Originally, although they are co-equal as members of the House and as members, senators, very different point dynamics when we are now talking of the impeachment court and the prosecution panel. All that we can say for sure is that we believe that we have followed the Constitution. We are confident in that the proper processes were obeyed. So if there is that remanding, whether or not that would be within their powers, that would be something not for us to decide. Now, when it comes to the rejection, it's, for lack of a better term, we would probably, like we mentioned, we would defer po, no? Just to be clear, so we are deferring for pending clarification. Now, once the response has been received, then again we will decide po, no, if it is clear enough that it is something that we can actually comply with po, no? I hope that would clarify it.
Yun na po. Thanks, Kuya Ray.
Thank you, Krisha. Mela Lismoras from PTV4.
Hi, good afternoon po, Prosex. Sulitin ko na lang po yung pagkakataon since I think this is the first time na medyo marami po tayong humarap dito nga sa isang press conference. For the record, ano-ano po yung articles na assigned sa inyo? Pwede po bang sumagot one by one? And nasa na po yung preparation natin ngayon? Gaano kahalaga na marinig po ito ng ating mga kababayan? Kasi up until now, ang dami na nating naging process dito nga sa impeachment proceedings, pero may mga nagsasabi pa rin na it's all about politics, may mga ganong criticisms. Can you just share ano pong articles and ano na po yung update sa preparation nyo at gaano ito kahalaga na marinig ng taong bayan sa pamamagitan ng impeachment trial?
Una po, gusto kong balikan kanina yung tanong, yung tungkol sa can we reject it? Di ba? Ngayon, na-return nila sa amin, na-reject. Baka magbula-bula po ito, wala nang patutunguhan. Yun po ang ayaw nating mangyari. Ang importante po dito, ang interest ng taong bayan at saka yung duties and obligations natin. Kung kailangan may mag-bend siguro dito, kami ang prosecutors, sila ang judges, kailangan kung compliable, kung pwede namin gawin na hindi makukompromise yung aming strategy, ay siguro baka kailangan namin gawin. Pangalawa, yung tanong po ni Ma'am tungkol sa articles, sa preparation po namin. Ngayong araw nga po, naghanda na po kaming mag-present, pero pinigilan lang po namin. Pero ayaw po namin muna magsalita para hindi naman namin ma-telegraph kung anong gagawin namin. Pero nandun, nakalabas na po yung articles of impeachment.
Sir, ilang percentage na lang po? So, with that po, you're saying 100% na nga kayo sanang prepare. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Thank you, Mela. Jongman Lapas from DZRH.
Kay Congressman Chua. Sabi niyo po kanina na unconstitutional, sa saligang batas, wala sa saligang batas yung, o unconstitutional yung ginawa ng Senate. Sa palagay po ba ninyo, magkaroon ng constitutional crisis po itong hakbang ng Senate?
Siyempre, yun po yung iniiwasan po natin na mangyari yun dahil ang gusto po natin umusad itong impeachment complaint dahil at the end of the day, ito naman po ay ginagawa po natin dahil interesado rin po ang taong bayan na malaman tungkol po dito. So, sa akin pong paniniwala, ito naman po ay mariresolba ng maayos. At ito po ay gagawin po natin hanggat, sabi nga po kanina, kung gaano kahaba ang aming pasensya, hahabaan pa po namin para ma-resolba lamang itong kinakaharap nating impeachment.
Sa palagay niyo po ba na mayroong pagmamalabis ang impeachment court nang ibinalik sa inyo kahit na sinasabi nga ninyo na wala sa Constitution yung hakbang nila?
Kaya nga po magsasubmit po kami ng clarificatory questions para malinawan po kami kung ano po talaga yung kanilang mga ninanais.
Sa reaction lang po, sabi po ni Senador De La Rosa na tantamount to dismissal na raw po yung impeachment case nang ibinalik sa inyo.
Unang-una po, ang trabaho po ng Senado bilang impeachment court ay to try at hindi po mag-dismiss. So, inaantay po namin ngayon na gampanan po nila ang kanilang constitutional duty.
Last na lang po, sabi ni po Senador De La Rosa, ginabayan siya ng Holy Spirit. Kanina po, nasa misa kayo, dinasalang kayo. Humingi po ba kayo ng gabay sa Holy Spirit?
At hindi po mag-dismiss. Ang unang-una, lahat naman po tayo, yung po ang gusto natin, gabayan tayo ng Holy Spirit. Pero ang pinakatamang gabay po dito sa impeachment proceeding ay ang ating saligang batas.
Okay, let us now recognize Earl Tobias from IBC 13.
Good afternoon po. To our prosecutors, once and for all po, dapat ngayong araw nakatakdang magpresenta ang prosecution panel ng articles of impeachment sa Senado. Ano na pong mangyayari? Pupunta pa po ba ang prosecution panel ngayong gabi? O sabi po ninyo kayo na Prosec Libanan, kayo'y handa na sana pero napigilan. So ibig sabihin po ba hindi to mangyayari ngayong last session ng Senado?
Hingi muna po kami ng clarification sa kanilang nare-request sa Kongreso. Hindi na po kami muna matutuloy magpunta doon. Ano naman ang gagawin namin? Kasi ang dapat na gagawin namin on their invitation, in-invite tayo nung June 2, tapos ginawa nilang June 11. Nakahanda kami kasi silang nag-imbita. Ngayon, sinasabi nila hindi na matutuloy. So, hindi na kami pupunta roon. Kasi baka lalo lang magkagulo kung anong gagawin namin doon. At marami pa rin naman kaming ginagawa dito sa Kongreso. Ito po yung last day of session namin. Ito pong pagtatapos ng 19th Congress ngayong gabi.
Thank you po. Follow-up na lang. Kung Luis, being that it's a matter again of decision kung kailan yung rescheduling ng presentation of articles of impeachment and you saying kanina na merong sapat na basihan, constitutional basis na dapat ang 20th Congress ay may clear jurisdiction na with the impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Pero nabanggit din kanina na kapag bola-bola ang proseso, mukhang mahihirapan sa pag-usad. Do you expect pa po ba the narrative of a Senate impeachment court wherein senator judges can move motions back and forth during the trial, or as prosecution panel, sana po hindi ganun yung mangyari?
We ask another good-looking prosecutor, Jill Bungalyun.
Thank you. Pwede pakulit lang ng tanong.
Basically, Prosec, kanina nabanggit po ni Prosec Libanan na kung bola-bola yung proseso na parang back and forth nga na kaninong korte ba yung desisyon. Do you expect po ba ay Senate impeachment court whereas ang naratibo ay may magmumove na motion na senator judge between or sa kasagsagan mismo ng trial and merong mga proseso na atras, merong mga proseso na abante, or as Prosec panel, sana po ba ay hindi ganun yung mangyari?
Well, as a prosecutor, as a member of the prosecution panel, we expect that they will expedite within a reasonable frame yung conduct ng trial. And as much as possible, we want to avoid this kind of motion because it amounts to dilatory, no? Nadidelay lang po yung impeachment. So, we are guided under the Constitution that the Senate shall have the power to try and decide the case. So, malinaw naman dun. We should proceed with the trial, and I guess all the members of the prosecution panel are ready with the trial.
Thank you, Earl. It's your turn now. Dwight De Leon from Rappler.
Hello po, good afternoon. Yun pong sa request ng Senate, yung sa motion nila, dalawa nga po yun, and you've mentioned already that the second part of the motion cannot be complied with because the House is currently in the 19th Congress. So, do you think that the delay is deliberate, the Senate is deliberately delaying the impeachment trial?
Let's ask one more good-looking prosecutor, Congressman Keith Flores.
Intentionally delaying it, medyo mahirap yan na question but they could have, yeah, we cannot speak for them, no? But then again, di ba, paulit-ulit din nilang sinasabi, but Cheese has been saying that they cannot bind the 20th Congress Senate. Yet, in their orders, they're making us comment for the 20th Congress. Oh, back to them, di ba? Sila na may sabi nun, tapos sila din naglagay sa order nila. And it's very impossible to comply with such an order. So if it's impossible to comply with such an order, how can we move forward if it is a condition of moving forward? Kaya sinasabi namin na Parang dapat it should be baliwala lang yung order na yun kasi it's impossible to do as of the time.
So in the House Prosecution Panel's view, do you think the Senate is delaying the process, deliberately delaying the process?
I cannot speak for everyone, no? But for me, yes. Sorry.
Okay po. By asking the House po to issue a certification that the House did not violate the Constitution, was the Senate, do you think that the Senate was already putting a premium on the arguments presented by by Sara Duterte's camp? Because yung mga arguments kahapon ni Nabato, seconded by Senator Bongo, all of those were in the petition filed by Sara Duterte with the Supreme Court. Specifically, yun nga po yung violation of the one-year bar rule. Do you think that the Senate is already, or the impeachment court rather, is already putting a premium on those arguments even before hindi pa tayo dumidiretso sa full trial proper?
Well, we cannot speak for them, no? But in as far as the prosecution panel is concerned, that is not really an issue because we are certain that we strictly and fully complied with the requirements of the Constitution with respect to the filing of the impeachment complaint, including the 3 prior complaints.
Ma'am, another question lang po. Legally or constitutionally po, can the reading of articles of impeachment by the House, yung nakaschedule po sana today, can that be considered moot? Kasi yun po nga po yung sinasabi kagabi ni Senate President Escudero.
That is why we're seeking for their clarification, no? Because it is the Senate rules on impeachment itself which provides for the presentation of the articles of impeachment before convening the impeachment court. And that's why we're following it strictly and receiving or seeing a letter which says that it is canceled because it is mooted by the referral of the impeachment complaint to the impeachment court raises an issue for the prosecution panel. Ano ba ito? That's why we need to be enlightened. At nasabi ko na po kanina, if the impeachment court will issue an order that the presentation of the articles in accordance with their rules is impliedly complied with, we might accede to that. Kaya lang without that order, it is hard to rely on assumption.
And sa statement niyo po kanina, sa opening statement po ninyo, you said na buhay na buhay po yung impeachment trial. Why did the House Prosecution Panel choose to adopt that view considering na may ibang well, sa Senate Minority Bloc, mayroon silang sentimiento na yun ngang pag-remand ng kaso ng impeachment articles sa House of Representatives is tantamount to a dismissal or functional dismissal or tantamount to termination of the proceedings.
Well, we wish to be clarified first before we make a stand on whether that order to return or remand is tantamount to the dismissal of the impeachment complaint. Unless we are clarified on that order, I believe that to speak on that issue will be premature.
Thank you po, thank you po. Thank you po, prosecutors.
Willie Delgado from DZMM.
Magandang hapon ho. Curious lang ako doon sa word na order. Once na na-convene na po yung impeachment court, may co-equal pa ba tayo matatawag between Congress and the Senate?
Kanina po binanggit na ng ating lead prosecutor na when we talk about the impeachment court, iba na po ang setup dyan. We might be co-equal as a legislative body, the Senate and the Congress. But when we speak about the impeachment court, they are the senator judges and we are the prosecutors. I believe we are obliged to comply with their orders.
So you're bound to
follow
the orders.
for as long as the orders are within the bounds of the law.
Okay. Meron pa po ba tayong magaganap na reading of articles in the future?
That will be one of the matters which we seek to be clarified.
Okay. One last point. Pwede po bang bigay ng malinaw na kung ano yung kinahinatnan ng tatlong articles, impeachment complaint versus dun sa pang-apat? Kasi kung babalikan natin yung mga statement kagabi ni Senator Alan Cayetano, indirectly meron siyang tinutumbok na na parang nagkaroon ng error during the process. Specifically yung rules of procedure ng impeachment, mukhang ang pinatutungkulan niya is Rule 2, Section 3. Paki-enlighten nga po kami ron.
Bel Zamora will answer your question.
Hi, for everyone's clarity, there were, as we know, there were 3 impeachment complaints filed in December. So the first one was filed on December 2. And under the Constitution, an impeachment complaint filed by a member or a public citizen, which is endorsed by a member, shall be calendared in the order of business of the House within 10 session days. So, for everyone's clarity, again, February 5 fell as the 10th session day. This is different po from calendar days, so we shouldn't count 10 calendar days from December 2. So all of the impeachment complaints, the 3 impeachment complaints were included in the order of business on February 5, which was the 10th session day. So pasok po siya doon sa requirement ng ating Constitution. Ngayon po, ano hong nangyari doon? Nung nakakalendar po siya, binasa po ito sa ating plenary session because there was already a 4th impeachment complaint which consolidated actually all of the articles in the different complaints. Pinagsama-sama po. Kaya po yung tatlong impeachment complaints ay na-archive na lang po. Pasok po siya doon sa requirement ng Constitution na makalendar sa session within 10 session days. Yun po yung requirement. Kaya kami po ay, ang House of Representatives po ay fully compliant with the constitutional requirements as well as the rules of Congress.
Ito kaya yung naging dahilan kung bakit naglabas sila ng remand order kagabi?
Isa po yun sa dahilan sa tingin ko. But I think it's because they did not, with the due respect, they did not understand the House rules and what happened during the last day of our sessions then.
So most likely ito yung lalamanin halimbawa nung magiging clarification, Attorney Jinky? Okay. One last point. May nakikita ho ba kayong victory with the numbers ng mga senators na umayon para i-remand yung articles of impeachment? 17 versus 5.
Sabi ko na po kanina, it will be improper to preempt the judgment of the senators and senator judges until and unless we have concluded the presentation of our evidence. We are confident. We have strong 7 articles of impeachment supported by ample and convincing evidence.
Thank you po.
Thank you. Pamela Vasquez from DZMM, sorry.
Pero naniniwala po ba kayo na hindi po sana humantong doon sa pag-remand kung nabigyan po sana ng chance ang House Prosecution na humarap po sa Senate Impeachment Court and nabasa sana yung articles of impeachment?
Well, it is hard to speculate on what really prompted the issuance of that order. And that is precisely the reason why instead of reacting to the order, we prefer to seek first for clarification, no? We are inclined to believe na they are supporting also the mandate of our Constitution. That is what we want to believe, in as far as we are concerned, because we must be reminded of the fact that sovereignty resides in the people, all government authority emanates from them, and all of us, the prosecutors and even the senator judges, we are all bound to follow the letter and the spirit of the Philippine Constitution.
May we get lang din po yung reaction ng House Prosec doon po sa ilang senator judge na tumangging magsuot ng robe last night. Confident or kumpiyansa pa rin po ba yung House Prosec na magiging impartial yung Senate Impeachment Court dahil po dun sa hindi pagsuot ng ibang senator judge?
Chairman Ako, would you like to answer? Be gentle.
Pakiulit nga po yung katanungan para
Reaction,
mayroon akong pagkakataon na mag-isip.
may reaction lang po doon kasi some senator judges refused to wear yung robes po during the convening ng impeachment court. So, ano po bang basa doon ng House Prosecution and kumpiyansa rin po ba ang panel na magiging impartial po ang Senate Impeachment Court?
I do not know the reason why some of the senator judges refuse to wear their robes. Di po ba? So that's a matter of discipline within the Senate or within the impeachment court. Bahala na po yung presiding judge na magdisiplina sa kanila. Number two, kung kumpiyansa po kami na, ano po?
Na magiging impartial nga po given na nag-refuse na magsuot ng robe yung ibang senator judge.
Hindi naman po kayo magtatanong sa amin kung wala po kayong conclusion, di po ba? Your conclusion is as good as mine. Diba?
And speaking of pagdidisiplina nga po ng presiding judge, satisfied naman po ba kayo doon sa naging pag-handle po ng presiding judge last night?
Tinatanong mo ako ngayon kung satisfied ako sa pag-handle.
House Prosec panel.
Well, to tell you frankly, from my experiences, kasi siguro dito sa linyang ito, akong pinakamatanda eh. If you ask me, my personal opinion, hindi po ako satisfied. That I think would be enough to answer the question that you have asked of me.
And last na lang.
Can I add to?
Sure po, sure po.
Siyempre kami ang prosecutors, may iniisip po kami kung anong gusto naming mangyari. Pero sa nakita natin kagabi, nakikita natin ang dami-daming interest sa plenary, 23 po sila. Alam ko pong mahirap yung ginagawa ng ating Senate President. Pero napunta tayo dito, may konting victory po tayo, magpapatuloy yung impeachment complaint, at siguro may kaunting i-clarify po natin. Siguro baka pasado na yun ng konti, Congressman Ako, na nangyari kagabi sa presiding officer.
Mr. Lead Prosecutor, the question is as of me in my personal opinion. Yes. I stick with my personal opinion because I have my own basis. I hope that answers your question, Madam.
Last na lang po on my end. Other than kung Keith po ba, may nag-share din po ng same sentiment na merong clear intent to kill or delay the impeachment? Or si Kong Keith lang po out of the 11 prosecutors?
I'm sorry?
Kung may
Address
nag-share,
ba sa akin?
sa House Prosec panel po, kung may nag-share lang din po ng same thought or view po with Kong Keith na there is a clear intent na i-delay or patayin yung impeachment.
Ako? Ako? Are you asking?
The Prosec panel po, if meron pa
My
pong...
personal opinion? Yes. I said personal opinion, yes.
Yes.
From my experiences. Kasi I've been with government since 1970. Di ba? Now, kanina tinanong ninyo kung magkakaroon ba ng pag-asa kami dahil 17-5. Kami may pag-asa. You know why? During the ERAP impeachment trial, they had the numbers. Pero bakit nagbaliktad? Kasi nakita na yung ebidensya as the gentle lady from Batangas said, wala pang naipresenta na ebidensya. Siguro pag nakita na ng mga tao at saka yung mga senator judges yung mga pieces of evidence, baka magbago po ang isip nila. So, yun po yung ibig sabihin ng sinabi ni Congressman Jinky. I think that's my take. Marami pong salamat.
Thank you po.
Risha Subing-Subing from Inquirer, for today's last question.
Sorry po. Kong Jinky, sorry po, follow up lang po. Yung motion po na pinaprepare niyo po, that is for the plenary or for the impeachment court po?
That is for the impeachment court.
That is for the impeachment. So, hindi po siya i-file today?
We wish to file it today.
Okay. And then my last question po. Kanina po it seems na your individual stances is that unconstitutional nga po yung ginawa ng Senate ng pag-remand ng articles of impeachment sa House. And yet, you're also signaling na you're willing to comply with the Senate, the stipulations of the order of the Senate. Hindi po ba siya two conflicting positions? I mean, if you give in to the Senate, and we assume that it is unconstitutional, then you're essentially being complicit also in that unconstitutional move.
Let me restate my position with accuracy. No? I said we will be seeking for clarification first, and that's why we will be asking for, we opted to defer receiving the orders as soon as we are clarified about the issues surrounding the order of the Senate last night. For as long as they are within the bounds of the law, the prosecution panel will comply.
So these are not two conflicting positions for you, ma'am?
I believe so.
It is, we are now in a choice between being combative or cooperative, di ba? Mamimili kami kung magiging-combative kami o cooperative sa husgado. Sa korte, pag matapang ka masyado, baka malamang matatalo ka. Pero pag nagko-cooperate ka sa orders ng korte at naipresenta mo yung ebidensya, malamang mananalo po kayo. Kaya yung strategy namin is to act as prosecutors in front of impeachment judges, di ba? So, kaya ganun po ang aming ginagawa.
Thank you, House Prosecutors Luistro, Zamora, Acop, Chua, Libanan, Bungalon, Gutierrez, and Flores for joining us today. To everyone, magandang tanghali po sa inyong lahat.